whenever I head eastwards along the A75 towards Newton Stewart or wherever. There's always this big lump in the distance called the Cairnsmore of Fleet, and I've always wanted to go up there, and that's where I'm at today. I just stopped the car. I don't know what time it is. What is the time? 7:30. It's always 7:30 when I start for some reason. I disturbed a pheasant on the way here. There's a sign. Cairnsmore of Fleet Summit. 4 miles. Core path 374. And there's wee van. I'll just head along here for a little while and then up towards the farm, and then hopefully there'll be a path off on the side. From the car park I just walked through the little gate there and turned left onto the main track, and I just followed it up and I've reached this point. Hill footpath. So it looks as though this is a signposted walk. Don't seem to get many of those in Scotland. I'm used to looking at the OS map. If I'm in England, I just look at the OS map and pick out the footpaths, and I can just piece them together. But of course, on the OS maps in Scotland, you don't get footpaths that are marked. Well, not usually anyway. Southern Upland Way is marked, things like that, the major ones. But you don't get the little footpaths that are marked. But of course up here in Scotland there's a right to roam, where you can, within certain limits, you can go pretty much where you want. I mean, you don't go trampling over people's gardens or breaking down fences and letting sheep out or anything like that, obviously. But yes, it's unusual to see one so well signposted. Oh, I'm out in the sunshine. I just walked across this field. There's a gate down there where Mr. Cyclist is headed, and I'll just come through there and walk diagonally up this field up to the top left corner, and there's another gate there. I'm only just a little way further on from the gate, and I actually get presented with a choice of path. Melbourne path on the left, Cairnsmore Summit path straight on. I think my route is clear. I've been going about 40 minutes now, and I've just come through that brick wall dry stone wall rather, that you can see at the bottom of the picture. And I've just been following the path up, and I'm gaining altitude quite quickly. It's a steady, just a steady climb, not terribly steep, not terribly difficult, so that depends on your ability, but it's alright. The only problem, of course, is the midges, but then that's Scotland for you. It's still not even been an hour yet, and I've just followed that track up past the trees and crossing another track, heading uphill. And there's a nice stone bench here to take 5 minutes. What does it say? In memory of Mary Pilkington, 1911 to 1995, who did much to establish Glenlure Forest. Good on you, Rosemary. I'm going to push on because these midges are being a pain. Nine o'clock, and as you can see, I'm up above the tree line now, and I can see the sea down there, and I assume that that's Newton Stewart down there. It's been a nice easy path, well, so easy. It's been a steady climb, but it hasn't been terribly difficult. There's a nice rock right by this gate, which I'm standing on, and I'm walking along, and it's all nice and quiet, and I disturbed something, I think it was grouse, in the undergrowth right by my feet. A sudden commotion in all the peace and quiet scared the bejesus out of me. Well, I don't know who was more scared, me or the birds, but it is lovely and peaceful. And there are less midges up here as well. Onwards. That can only be Newton Stewart, because I can now see the Cree, and you can follow it down all the way down there, and the Irish Sea beyond it. And there's a buzzy thing that won't leave me alone. Go away, buzzy thing. It's about 10 o'clock. And I've reached the summit now. And I've just spent a few minutes rearranging my equipment. I've put my coat on because it's lovely and sunny, but it's a bit breezy up here. This is a memorial to airmen who have been killed up here. Erected, what does it say? Erected in memory of airmen killed on this hill, Cairnsmore of Fleet. And it looks like there's 8 separate crashes. 40, 42, 44, 44, 42, 42, 44 and 1979. Wow, I hadn't realised there were so many plane crashes up here. And that plate is obviously a replacement for what's behind it. You can see where the lettering's come off. And I noticed while I was sorting myself out, around the side there's, I presume that was the maker. It looks like the name might be Leyden or something. It's difficult to make out. Interesting. I shall have to look into the history of this place a bit more. Just see what's going on. That's Clattering Shores Loch. And then the various summits of the Galloway Forest. And here I am, if I back up a bit, at the trig point, which has definitely seen better days. Somebody's had a go at the top of it. That looks fairly fresh, that does. And there's the shelter. Summit Cairn beyond. A little bit later in the day, if it was dinner time, I'd be tempted to stop and have my dinner. But it's I've been faffing around up here for a while now, and I want to push on. What time is it? $10:45. I've been up here 45 minutes. Good grief. Right, well, I'm going to go onwards anyway. I'm actually following walk 3 in Ronald Turnbull's Walking in the Southern Uplands. Is that what it's called? And what I'm going to do now is follow the plateau over that way, and then I'll come down via a different route. I'm just progressing. And there is a rough path through the grass, and all I'm doing is I'm going to follow the remains of a fence down the slope to the Nickerclash Niche, and then I climb up again to the cairn, which is the knee of Cairnsmore. I think I've got that right. There's a nice shot of the Cree estuary, the Irish Sea beyond, and there is a rough path through the grass. I'm just following the remains of a fence, and it's just dropping down the slope to the Nickerclash Niche. Then I go over the wall, and then back up again to the cairn, which is known as the knee of Cairnsmore. And from there I can drop down again. It's now 11:30, and that's where it'll come from over there. And here is the cairn. And at this point I start descending down the slope over that away, so I can just keep heading towards the tree. I should be going in the right direction. Along the way I'll see if I can find a nice sheltered spot with a lovely view. That bit shouldn't be too difficult, and then I can stop and have my dinner, I think, even though it is a bit early. Well, I didn't get very far from the cairn before I found a lovely spot to sit and have my dinner. And look at the view. Absolutely stunning, just looking down on the Cree estuary and over towards Newton Stewart. Absolutely beautiful. And now, having gone up, I need to go down. Down there is a track, which is what I need to follow to get back to where I started. So that's where I am now. I'm just heading down. It's now, what time is it? Let's have a look. 12:15. I'm just taking it nice and easy down this section. It strikes me as being perfect ankle snapping territory. Lots of pits and hollows, and you can't always see where they are. It's 1:15 and I've made it down to Craddock Burn. I may have come down a bit early to this burn. There is another one. I've got to follow this burn down, but there is another one I think I'm probably going to have to cross. That's where it'll come from. Up there. And that was, yeah, that was a bit tricky, that was. Not always being able to see where your feet are going. I wouldn't like to try it in the snow. But anyway, we're at Craddock Burn, so I'll just keep pushing on. See where I get to. Oh, this is the other burn that I was on about. This is Tor Burn, and this merges with Craddock Burn further downstream. The route suggested by the book brings you out at a point, must be up there, so you don't have to cross the water so much. But it's very low. I've only stepped across it, so it's not a problem. And then further downstream it will merge with Craddock Burn. But this is the track that I want, and I'll just follow this track now, and it should more or less take me all the way back. I don't know whether he thinks he's got food for him or what. I haven't got anything for you, sorry. Oh, they're all coming now. I haven't got anything for you, it's no good following me. that track brought me down to a field, and I just walked through the field to the right hand side of it, which led me onto another track. Down at the end of there I turned right, which has brought me back to here, and this is now full circle. Oh, there's another one coming. So there we go, I'm just a few minutes away from Weevan now. And this is us back in the car park. I hadn't realised this little lane is just used as a car park, and there is actually a turning point at the end here. And when I came in, I wound up having to shunt a few times just trying to turn in the lane. And I've only got a three door Grand Vitara. It's not exactly the biggest thing in the world. Managed to get round in the end. But yeah, it's just for future reference, there is a turning point at the end. But that's it now. That's the end of the walk. It's now 2:15. I started out at 7:30. So that's not bad going. That's been a nice walk. I've enjoyed that. And I think now, 2:15, I might head off down to Newton Stewart. And I'll wander around the charity shops. And see if I can pick up myself a nice salad for tea. Here's Weevan, the one behind the blue car. Yeah, good walk. Cairnsmore of Fleet, I enjoyed that.